Was with no money. It is the least amount of time and energy for me. It requires the least heartache for me. And it has made me the most money, okay? Just so you understand, I do real estate in my part-time. And I started doing real estate as a part-time guy years ago. In fact, I was 28 years old, 29. Years old, I was a salesman in a car dealership. I was selling automobiles. Johnny, I'm trying to open this first screen.
Right over here.
Okay. Oh, you see it there. They see it? Okay. And I don't know if I could see that here, Johnny. That would be helpful. Because right now I'm looking, if you guys don't know what I'm looking into this big audience of 12,400 people. And I'm like, man, that's a lot of people right there. We do this big conference every year called the 10X Growth Conference where there's 15,000 people in it. That's the image I'm looking at right now. We did Mandalay Bay, and we help companies. My main business is helping Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 1000 companies, and entrepreneurs from around the world scale and grow their businesses. Real estate is a side hustle for me, okay? It's a side hustle. It started as a side hustle with $3,000. True story. I bought a $78,000 property with $3,000. 21 days later, bought another property. The second property was with no money. It was $120,000. And in a period of 1 month, okay, I had been a professional salesperson at this point for 3 years. From 25 to 28, I did not like sales, but it was the only thing I could do. It was the only job I could get and keep. And it was the only place at that time there was 25% unemployment where I could actually make any money. And when I had a little money, I had $3 grand. I'm like, what can I do with it? And a guy showed me this piece of real estate in Bel Air, Texas. It was $78,000. I did the math on it. I was getting $2,400 in positive cash flow a year. I put $3 grand down, financed $75,000. I didn't know how to do any of this, by the way. I don't know what my credit score was. I don't even know if we did credit scores back then. It was just like, do you pay your bills? I don't think there was a scoring system. I had no clue how to get a loan. I had never even borrowed money for a car because I was in a car dealership and they gave me a car. I was making about, at that time, probably $50,000 or $60,000 a year. I had this extra money. I threw it into this deal, not knowing what I was doing. And I was making $200 a month, positive cash flow, times 12, I think that's $2,400. My $3 grand, check this out, my $3 grand, I thought this was a good deal. This is how stupid I was. I knew nothing about real estate, except it was real. And I liked the fact that I could see it, I could put a tenant in it. So I bought it for $3,000. I got this loan for $75,000. Okay, it cash flowed $2,400. I was so excited. I don't know how many of you might be like this. You have a victory, and the next thing I know, I'm going to do another deal. The next deal, I figured out how to do with no money. I did this deal with no money. It was $120,000. It was about 6 blocks from this other property. Okay, this deal would make me $32,000 with no money. This deal made me $3,000 plus the $2,400. Okay, so I made about $5,400 on this deal. By the way, the first deal that I did, it didn't change my life, but it did change my attitude. Okay, it changed my life. Okay, I know now what I can start doing with money. Because the problem with money, for those of you taking notes, this is going to be about 90 minutes today, okay? I'm going to spend about 85 minutes with you, and I'm just going to tell you the difficulties I had with this and how I didn't know what I was doing. And had I known what I was doing, by the way, how many of you'd like to pick up $3,000 extra on your first deal? Buy a deal with $3,000 and 100% on your return. That's 100% return. This return right here is called an infinite return. I'm going to show you how to get this, how I've done this 40 times. How to get infinite returns, meaning no money in the deal and infinite cash flow. Okay, infinite cash flow and appreciation and tax write-offs. I'll go over all that today. I can't teach you everything I know today, but I can start showing you the game you should be playing. For you guys out there that are wholesaling and flipping, or looking at single family homes, these 2 homes that I bought today, I would not be doing this today in what we're about to go through. We're getting ready to go through a 12 or 15 month correction in real estate. These correction periods that we're going through right now, presently going through, create opportunities for you and your family to create tremendous wealth, okay? These first 2 deals, while they may look good to you, okay, like would it be worth you investing some time and energy to learn how to do that? To pick up an extra $32,000, $35,000 this year? Most people would say yes. All these 2 deals did for me, and I'm going to show you the deals. I'll give you the addresses. You can go on YouTube and check it out, or you can go on Google and say, did Grant Cardone buy 1117 Sheffield back in that date? Did Grant Cardone buy, what was the address of that Brayburn property? 5422 Brayburn. See, I can even tell you the address. Just go look, Grant Cardone at 5422 Brayburn. Or did Grant Cardone buy, I'll just give you the whole list, I'll give you the address. I'm going to give you a performa, I'm going to show you how to underwrite deals, get deals done, how to price them, how to make sure they make you money. Because the crazy thing about real estate, when I bought these first 2 deals, I'm like, this is the first time I ever made money outside of me busting my ass. In fact, these 2 deals made me 50% of my entire salary for 1 year. And when that happened for me, it changed my entire attitude about life, not just work. I'm like, man, I'm going to work now selling cars thinking I'm not selling the car to pick up $200 commission. I'm not going to work to get my salary or paid. I'm not going to work because I got to go to work. I'm going to work now so that I can get some money and I can convert money to real assets. And these real assets will provide me with cash flow. These real assets will provide me with a cushion, protection against something happening on my main job. This investment I'm making now is going to provide me with a $30,000. If I could do this every year for the next 10 years, this is what I was thinking when I was 28. If I could do this every year for the next 10 years, I would create another $300,000. Now, that was worth me paying attention. Okay? I'm asking you right now, give me the next 80 minutes to pay attention to what I'm going to share with you. Because I was thinking too small, and I'll bet you are too. Johnny, if we could show them this graph. Okay, if I take you back to the beginning of my real estate career, $200,000, almost $200,000 worth of real estate I bought in 2 months with $3,000. Okay, that would be 178 units only a few years later. It would turn into $7 million. I had no clue. I did not get in this to become a millionaire in real estate. I got into this to pick up a little extra income, a little cash flow, and maybe, cross my fingers, maybe one day I would have a little extra money, okay? In 2 years, I had $7 million worth of assets. No idea that would happen to me. I don't know what the date is on the third one with the 38 million. What date is that? I can't quite see it. Let me see. Can I see it on here? Okay. 1994, from 1988 to 1994, in 6 years of investing in real estate, I had a net worth of $38 million. And folks, I had no clue what I was doing. Okay, watch this graph. Because when you look at these numbers and don't have the story, you don't know where I'm at. I don't have any money. I have a full-time job, okay? I'm a single guy. Maybe I had a girlfriend at the time, and I'm hustling my life and trying to have weekends and trying to enjoy, the barbecues and the same thing everybody else does. But on the weekends, I was also shopping real estate, and every once in a while, I'd stumble into these deals. And one day, 6 years after I started doing this, I owned $38 million worth of real estate. Only a few years later, in 2002, right after if you look at these dates, by the way, I make big moves during contractions. We're in one now. I've been telling most of you that have been following me, if you follow me on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, I've been saying to you for 3 months, we are in a recession, we're in a major contraction, and it will create real estate opportunities over the next 8 to 14 months. That is your window if you're taking notes. Between now and May of next year, there are going to be opportunities for you to buy real estate where you live that can change your life forever. Make this note. You're looking for one deal to change your life. Because if I went back to my first 2 deals, knowing what I know now, I would not do those 2 deals, even though those 2 deals made me money. Okay? By 2008, what happened in 2008? Big contraction. Okay? Notice, I actually reduced my portfolio before 2008 happened from 2,200 units actually, and $95 million worth of assets. I reduced my assets before the biggest housing collapse in United States history. I reduced my portfolio by 75%. Kind of good timing, I'd say, okay? And then I go on a route. A route means now I'm going to start accumulating. 2010 until 2012, I go to 1,000 units. I go from 500 units to 1,000 units. 2012 to 2014. All this is documented, by the way, and has been audited. I go to $330 million in real estate. 2017 to 2019. I go all the way through COVID, by the way. I blow this portfolio up to $1 billion. And then from COVID, tremendous opportunity, to today, we take the portfolio from $1 billion to $5 billion. Every one of these transactions that I will share with you today can be documented on the internet. They're public record. One of the things I love about real estate is you can't hide it. You can't fake it. Okay, it's not like Instagram where everybody's got a fake claim to fame, even the car they drive. So real quick, for those of you who you're like, okay, man, you got my attention. Okay, we do have an offer today. I want to tell you what the offer is, so that if you already know, hey, I trust this guy and I want to learn this game and I believe what he's saying is true, we got a super offer for you, okay? I'm going to give you my entire 23-hour real estate program, introduction course to buying apartments, multifamily real estate, the hottest sector in the world today, and will be going forward, by the way. I'm going to give you my real estate resource book. Where is it at? Jared, is it right here? I'm going to give you my real estate resource book. You can buy this on my website for $2,500, or I'll give it to you. I'm also going to give you access to our 3-day event live in Miami. Can they come?
They can come to the next one, yeah.
Yeah. If you can't come to this one, you can come to the next one. We do 2 a year. It's a $5,000 seat. I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to give you my entire resource book, and we're going to give you the advanced deep dive into apartment investing and a couple of other bonuses. I'm going to do all that for $997. You just hit the link below if you want to take advantage of that. First 100 people to take advantage of it, I'm going to send you our cash flow hat, okay? I'm going to send you our cash flow hat. I'm going to give you our proprietary underwriting spreadsheet and formula. You can't get that, can't buy that. Jared said, what do you think it's worth? It's worth $5 billion to me. So I don't know what to tell you. We'll also give you a recording of today, right? If you want to go back and listen to it, or you want to bounce out right now, it's your call. This is limited to the first 100 people that take advantage of it. Just click the link below. For those of you who just want to hang around and just learn for free, that's cool too, no problem. I'm here to help you. Whether you want me to help you for free, you want to just watch stuff on YouTube for free, or you want to go a deep dive and you want to really, really learn the game. And this is a game, folks, that I promise you, okay, I had no clue when I got in this game. I had no clue when I got in this game how explosive it could be, okay? Like the fact that a guy from Lake Charles, Louisiana, had no money, no connections. My dad died when I was 10. I didn't have I didn't have ends with anyone. I didn't know how to walk into a bank. I didn't know the questions to ask. I didn't know what underwriting meant. I didn't know what debt coverage ratio was. I didn't know what a good location was. People that go location. I'm like, what does that even mean? I didn't know whether I was looking for 1 unit, 2 units, 4 units, 32 units. I didn't know the math. I didn't know anything. To think that a guy like me could end up with $5 billion worth of real estate, that's billion. And that portfolio, by the way, Alan and I were talking before I went on break, a couple of guys that are hanging with me today. He's like, Grant, you're just in the beginning, bro. Our goal is to have a $50 billion real estate portfolio and become one of the largest real estate operators in the United States of America. And I actually believe that's achievable today. But I didn't know that 30 years ago when I started doing this. So whether you guys want to do this on your own, I'll help you. You want to do it with me? I'll help you. You want to do a deal together in the future? I'll help you. This is not just about training, but about building a network of people that we can support and help do deals so that we meet once or twice a year and start talking about how to do deals together so everybody's on the same page looking at deals that we can help each other's family with. So if you want to take advantage of it, click the link. The offer's sick. It will expire here in the next 80 minutes. We won't offer it again to you. It's ridiculous savings. I don't know what the total is on it, Jared. Do you know? It's
$18,000.
$18,000. If you wanted to go on the internet, you want to go to my website and see what the advanced course is, you're going to see it's 10 grand. You want to see what the basic introductory course is, 10,000. We sell it all the time for that. You want to see what the resource book is, 2,500, or you can grab the whole thing for $997. Okay? All right. Now let's talk about what you need to know, regardless of how you decide to do this with me or without me. Okay? A couple of things you've got to know. Okay? Number one. Why do you want to buy real estate right now? Okay, I want you to write this down. This is senior to everything else. Okay, there is a moment in time right now. Okay, this moment in time will pass. And there are contraction periods. There was one in 2000. There was one in 1995. There was one in 2008, was massive, between 2008 and 2010. If you would have bought all the real estate available to you in San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Tucson, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, if you would have known the formula, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, you name it, Chicago, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, okay? If you would have bought in these periods of time, if you'd have been buying in 2019 during COVID and 2023, that's not happened yet. We're in process. Listen to me. You do not want to be buying real estate today. You want to be prepping yourself to buy real estate tomorrow and before the end of the year and before May of 2023, there's going to be an opportunity, and I'll show you what you're looking for, okay? So one is the opportunity is right here, right now. Now, what you're looking for and why. Number one is time tested. You can take real estate over the last 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, press it up against gold, silver, tulips,
anything,
Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Luna, American Express stock, Berkshire Hathaway. Why is Blackstone and BlackRock the largest real estate owners on planet Earth? Why does Vanguard, a $5 trillion company, support most of their assets by real estate? Because it's time tested, okay? Number two, hottest real estate market in the world is in the United States of America. Okay? Not always has been that. India is going to offer you a tremendous opportunity in the next decade. Between now and the end of the year and also in the next decade, you'll have a big opportunity in there. South America, Mexico will provide you with a hot real estate market. Why is that? Because we're turning into a renter's market, not an owner's market. I'll be explaining more of that in a bit. Three, the ultimate way to build net worth is through real estate. Let me explain that to you, okay? Watch what happens. When I went out and bought my first piece of real estate for $3,000, I got a $78,000 property. That immediately becomes an asset. It also gave me a liability. That liability actually was an asset, okay? Dave Ramsey said all debt is bad debt, but the truth is this debt right here became an asset. That asset is worth more than a credit score, okay? You don't want assets without debt. You actually want it to build net worth, because what happens is this asset goes up in value and this liability should stay level, okay? So this debt did not go up. The debt gets paid down over time while the asset goes up in value. In fact, that asset today is worth $480,000. It can be sold before the weekend's over. That would be a for sale deal. So this asset, okay, if I owned it 30 years, and I would have had I not sold it, had I known what I was doing, I would have never sold 1117 Sheffield that I paid 78 grand for, but actually only paid 3 grand for it. That's what I put down. That's what I paid for it. I didn't pay that for it. It was paid down by the renters. And that debt would be paid down to zero today. Okay, I'm sorry, 78,000 is what I paid, was the price. The 75,000 was paid down to zero, and it went up in value. The only way to build net worth, if you're taking notes right now, the ultimate way to build net worth is not through collecting cash. Because even when you collect cash, it goes down in value, right? So let's say I have no money. I got no money, now I got $10,000, okay? And you're going to hold $10,000 between now and 2028 or 2032, okay? Between now and 2032, this $10,000 is probably going to be worth 8 grand, maybe less than that. It's going to go down in value just because of the sheer thing called inflation. Okay, inflation, deflation, printed too much money, people don't trust the currency, it goes down in value. But if you took the $10,000 and bought $40,000 worth of real estate, just fill in the blanks, put in the chat. If I go invest in $40,000 worth of real estate with $10,000, what do you think $40,000 worth of real estate, or $400,000 worth of real estate, or $4 million worth of real estate, just keep adding zeros, what do you think will happen to the value of that real estate over the next 10 years? If it's in the right location, at the right time, okay, with the right debt, dude, you'll blow up. You'll blow up. The only way to create net worth, the ultimate way to create net worth, to build net worth, is through asset accumulation. You want to write this down, asset accumulation, not cash accumulation. Now, this is really, really important for you guys to know, because now is the time for you to learn this game. You're working your ass off. You spend most of your time gone from your family, gone from your wife, okay? I'm like, well, I'm not even spending enough time with the people I love the most. I got 2 beautiful kids, a beautiful wife. I'm not even spending my time there. Why? Because I'm hustling something that goes down in value. And then even when I get the thing that goes down in value, my mom and daddy taught me, save your money, save your money, save your money, save your money, save your money. And I save it and it doesn't go up in value. But you don't want to save your money. What you want to do is use your money and convert money into assets that can carry debt, okay? Now, you cannot get debt on a $100 bill. You can get debt, or 100 million. You can't really get debt against it. They'll hold the 100 million and lend against it, okay? But they will give you debt on buildings, and I'll show you the kind of buildings you're looking for. Make sure you take advantage of that offer, by the way, guys. Don't miss this, okay? If you want to be one of those first 100 that take advantage of that offer, don't miss this, because I'm going to walk you through all this in 16 days. I'll show you exactly in detail for 3 days. I got 80 minutes with you, but I'll spend 3 days with you. I'm the only person that speaks the entire 3 days, and I deliver 3 days of content. What to look for in the markets, the best markets. Number 4, you want to say something, Jared?
No, I was just going to say, you always talk about, my name's Jared, by the way.
Jared Glantz in the room, president of Cardone Training Technologies. He helped us put this webinar on today. He gets the feedback from our audience about what they want me to do. We do many free events throughout the year, okay? So
I was just saying, like, you know, if you go to a bank and try to borrow money for a stock, like they'd never do that.
Yeah, so let's say I want to go buy Netflix. Netflix, what was Netflix at earlier this year? It's down 71% right now. So I don't know what it was, 250, 230 or something.
60.
It was a $600 stock.
Yeah, 600.
And what is it today?
190.
190. So if you went and said, hey, I got $10,000 and I want to buy $190 worth of, well, I mean,
If you had 10,000,
just depends on when you bought it, right? Oh man, it's gonna be a good deal. It's gonna be a good deal. You guys should not be chasing stocks, by the way. If you're on the come up, what you should be doing is collecting assets. If you go to the bank and you say, I want to buy $10,000 worth of Netflix at 190, the bank will not give you a loan on that. Check this out. If you go to the Bank of America or Wells Fargo, your friendly bank that wants a relationship with you, you know, they say they want a relationship with you, and say, I want to buy $10,000. What's Wells Fargo at today? And I want to buy $10,000. This is where you have your money, by the way. I want to borrow 10 grand
40.
to buy a $40 stock called Wells Fargo. Do you understand? Wells Fargo will not lend you $10,000 to buy their stock. Now, if that don't shake your head up, like, wait a minute, you're telling me I can't get a loan from a bank for the stock of the bank? No. But if you go to Wells Fargo and say, Wells Fargo, I want to buy a 4-unit complex that this guy bought. I want to put $10,000 on it. And by the way, I have 3 buddies that are going to each put $10,000, and we're going to put our money together and we're going to go buy this deal. I'm going to show you how to do all this. I'm going to show you how to do it with no money, in fact. I got a $5 billion worth of real estate. I don't have $5 billion. But I know how to find the deal that provides the debt and the equity. And I'll show you exactly how to do that, okay? When you start collecting this, what people don't understand, okay, is the value of real estate is so unbelievable. It's incredible. Did you know in the mid-90s, you could buy I didn't know this, by the way, when I was doing this. So stupid. I bought $200,000 worth of real estate, my first 2 deals, and I did not know that I could have written the entire purchase off of my taxes. And I missed that opportunity. In the mid-90s, when you bought $200,000 worth of real estate as an investment, you were able to write off the entire $200,000. Now this year, there's a thing called 100% bonus depreciation. And I'm talking about the reason you want to buy this year and be in a position this year is real estate offers the biggest tax benefits of any investment vehicle on planet Earth today, and may be the last place for those of you that make money to start offsetting your taxes, okay? So for instance, this year, let's say I could figure out how to buy $1 million piece of real estate. And you're like, just think with me for a second. Like, why would I want to buy $1 million rather than a $200,000 deal? Because it's easier. It's easier to buy $1 million worth of real estate than it is $200,000. I'll show you how to do it. The reason it's going to be better for you is because I can write off $400,000 of that purchase this year. I'm probably going to put 40% down to buy the deal. And most of the 40% that I put down, I can write off in year 1, okay? Not to mention, when I go to sell this piece of real estate, let me just give you another example here. I bought a piece of real estate. I was going to save this for later, but I got to tell you now. I bought a piece of real estate for $58 million. Okay, now I knew what I was doing. Okay, this was, I had been investing in real estate now at this time. This was 2010. Yep. 2012. It was 2012, actually. And I knew what I was doing now. I bought a piece of real estate for $58 million. I refinanced that piece of real estate for $108 million. I took $50 million out. My tax bill was $0. Okay? $0. I want you to understand this, okay? Because nobody's telling you this. Uncle Dave's not telling you. Kramer's not telling you. The IRS is never going to tell you. Your accountant doesn't even know. Like, if your accountant knew what I knew about real estate, he'd quit doing your taxes.
If you a get money nigga, hustling nigga, and you trying to get, you gotta do me a big favor. I need y'all to stop sending me music to my DMs if this is not what you do. Now check me out. If you a get money nigga, hustling nigga, and you trying to get in the game right now, you decided you wanna rap because it might get you some extra pussy, or if you a stripper and you feel like You want to rap because it's trendy and because Cardi was successful. Listen, me personally, I don't want to hear that shit. Please don't send that to my DM. I mean, I get a lot of DMs from people who want me to check out their music, and I really only want to hear motherfuckers that's really talented. I'm not really interested in listening to the guy who watches the most least talented person and says, if they can do it, I can do it. You're not the person I want to check out. So I'm just saying.
And start figuring out how to avoid a zone. He hadn't even figured that out. I made $50 million in net profit in my hands. Okay, paid back all the investors for the money that we borrowed from others in order to buy the deal, and put $50 million. $50 million. I can't even say it. $50 million in my pockets. That was not a taxable event. That property, remember why we want to buy property? Because it's the ultimate way to build wealth. That property today is worth $308 million, today's value. I owe $108 million on it. I have $200 million worth of, what would that be called? Net worth. Positive net worth. Okay. I can go to a bank today and say, hey, oh, by the way, this deal right here, how much money do I have in this deal?
Zero.
Zero plus 50 million in my pocket. I was given 50 million to own this process, this property. This property continues to go up in value. 10 years from now, it's going to be worth more than 308 million. But what you don't know is this. This property still pays me $1.6 million. Is that right? Let me just see. This might be wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is wrong. $2.8 million. $2,880,000 every year is what it pays me in positive cash flow to wait for it to continue to go up in value. And this is not taxed.
And then when you refinance it again and you pull out another 150 million.
So what Jared's saying is, I'm going to probably wait 7 years. I'm going to wait 7 years. Let's say the property's worth 300. Let's say it's just it doesn't go anywhere for 3 years. In fact, let's say it goes down in value. Let's say like today, I'm like, you know what? The market sucks right now. It's crazy. Debt market's all freaked out. There's a whole thing going on debt right now that's actually creating an opportunity with interest rates going up. And let's say I wanted to go refinance my property today. And I said, hey, I want a $200 million loan on this property. I could get it, by the way. I think I could. Let me just do the math. I'm doing proprietary math right now, and I'm going to share this with you. Yeah, I could get that loan. So you see, that's the other thing. I'm going to show you how to get a loan, how to go to the exact lender, the right lender the first time, not people that won't lend you money on a deal. They would give me a $200 million loan. I would get $100 million in cash. Another $100 million in my pockets. And my tax bill would be zero. Zero. Most important number in the numerical system is zero. Okay, so why do you want to buy real estate? If I don't have your attention right now, you're like, man, this can never happen to me. This is the only space where it could happen to you. You're not going to learn how to code. I don't know how to code. You're not going to Wall Street to become a Wall Street hedge fund guy. I don't know anything about that. I don't have those connections. You're not going to get it.
Andre wrote a Christmas song for his creative music class. And it was a really great song. But his teacher gave him...
Don't say it out loud.
Okay?
D, I said it out loud. D. I've always gotten A's in music. How does a person go from an A to a D?
Happened to me in 8th grade. Andre wrote a Christmas song.
Job with Goldman Sachs. Lloyd Blankfein, by the way, who ran Goldman Sachs, and I had an interview with back in, March?
Yeah.
He could not get a job with Goldman Sachs. He actually got denied by Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs ended up buying another company that he worked at, and that's how he ended up becoming CEO of Goldman Sachs. The possibility of 99% of the people, 99.9% of the people getting rich coding, starting the next Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, working for a hedge fund, dude, the chances are impossible. The chance you create wealth in real estate actually are better than 90%. You have a 90% chance in real estate to actually create success. I would tell you, you probably have a 99.99% chance of creating wealth investing in real estate. If you would just follow the steps that I do, I would tell you you have a guaranteed 100% chance of creating wealth, freedom, wealth, real wealth in real estate. The fifth reason I believe right now is the time. It's not taking my clicks. Number 5, it works when you sleep. It works during COVID. It works during contractions. It works regardless of whether Biden can ride his bike or Trump starts an insurrection, whether Roe versus Wade passes or doesn't, gun laws go or don't go. Regardless of what happens, man, ladies and gentlemen, real estate works when you're on vacation. I'm going to go to Italy for a month this year. My real estate's going to keep rocking. COVID happened. COVID shut down every gym in America. Every church in America, by the way, was shut down. Churches were shut down during COVID. Every Walmarts was shut down. Were they essential?
Yeah, they were essential.
Yeah. What else was shut down? Gyms.
Restaurants.
It was terrible what happened, man. Millions of restaurants are still out of business today. Movie theaters were shut down. AMC may never recover from it. Malls were shut down. Okay? Not one apartment building in America, not one unit was denied access during COVID. Okay? We had a 99% collection rate. Now you're like, wait a minute, I was reading in the papers it was 72%. It was. For some people it was very, very low. Okay? Number 6, real estate is the single best hedge against this headliner called inflation today.
Inflation makes real estate owners rich.
Dude, inflation
Made you $1 billion.
is like, let's go inflation. Inflation is good for people that have assets. It is terrible for people that hold cash. It is terrible on the stock market. Okay? It is terrible on earnings. And by the way, it was supposed to be good for Bitcoin, but how did that pan out? All right? Because Bitcoin and the stock market are actually tied together. There's similar investors there. Number 7, refinance capabilities. Okay, I'm going over some of the refinance capabilities. This is not complicated, by the way. If this is going over your head right now, how can a guy pull out $100 million? All you got to do is know that that is possible. Okay? Your accountant and the transaction are going to take care of it. All you got to do is claim it. I don't want to pay taxes on that $100 million. And the